right. When you get an A, make sure you.
Here are 3 people. Oh, well, I'll get you lunch. All right, so today we are going to be discussing something that everyone is or can relate to. If you haven't gone through it personally with your own family, I'm sure you have friends that have gone through it, and that's going to be heart attacks. Heart attacks are the leading cause of death for both men and women, and occurs every 20 seconds in the United States. So if you think about it, that's 3 times a minute, 180 times an hour that somebody suffers a heart attack. So it is relatable because it happens so often. The good thing is that we do have many doctors across the country that have done plenty of research on it and have come to pretty much the same conclusion. So there's plenty of research out there that we can try to prevent these things from happening. Heart attacks are very common, deadly, like I have stated. And in order to get a better understanding, we are going to go more in depth and look at the causes, the symptoms, and the prevention for these heart attacks. First, let's look at the causes. What is a heart attack? According to Medical News Today, the definition is a death of a segment of a heart muscle caused by loss of blood supply. Now, stuff that causes heart attacks can include age. The older you are, the more susceptible you are of having a heart attack. Stress. Many people have stressful jobs. No comment. Genetics and your diet. Genetics, if you have a family history of heart attacks, you're more likely to maybe have one of them in the future. Diet, what you put in your body, is also very important. Fried foods, sugar. I mean, everybody pretty much knows, but we all tend to keep doing it. Now that we've looked at the causes, or some of the causes, let's go ahead and look at the symptoms. According to Leaf Chronicle, you want to remember the acronym FAST, F-A-S-T. We're going to briefly just go over what each letter stands for. F is going to be for face drooping. When someone's having a heart attack, you'll notice one side of their face droops, their cheek, eyelid. You'll notice that the face isn't symmetrical. So that's a good sign that someone is having a heart attack. A is going to be for arm weakness. Many times one side of the body goes numb. A good test that they say to do is to hold both arms out. If you're noticing that one arm, you can't hold them both at the same level, that's also a good sign that you're having a heart attack. S is for slurred speech. If you've been around somebody that's maybe had too much alcohol, I'm sure we all have, you'll notice how people slur when they speak. They can't articulate the words, they can't speak in complete sentences. That's also another sign that they're going through something. And then the T stands for time, which is probably going to be the most important. You want to recognize the symptoms and get yourself to a hospital right away. And I'm going to stop there because something happened yesterday, which originally wasn't in the speech, but it goes along with it. My grandma currently has Alzheimer's and dementia, and my grandpa takes care of her. So, as you can imagine, they're both 82 years old, so he goes through a lot, just caring for her all day, every day. My mom and dad went by their house yesterday, and they said while they were there, they noticed my grandpa started slurring his words. So instead of giving them 15 minutes of saying, hey, maybe let's see if he comes out of it right away, they called 911, paramedics came out. Luckily, everything was okay, but they said that most likely is due to the stress of him caring for my grandma. So, we're gonna have to figure that out. But that just goes to show you, when you recognize these things, you need to act pretty quickly on them. Okay, so lastly, let's look at what we can do to prevent these things. Unfortunately, they're not 100% preventable. For example, Bob Harper, who was on The Biggest Loser on NBC, well-renowned trainer, works out 5 to 6 times a week, eats right. He had a massive heart attack in 2017 while working out. And the doctors even said, they're surprised he's even alive. So if you see someone like that who does all the right things, still have a heart attack, that just goes to prove what about us that don't do the right things. So you can only imagine. According to JAMA Cardiology, some factors or some things you can do to prevent them would be physical activity, exercise every day if you can. I know it's hard because we all have kids. Well, I don't, but many people have kids. Many people have kids, school, or their work. So it's hard, but like the old saying goes, if you really care about something, you're going to find a way to fit it in somehow. If you work in a building, maybe take the stairs instead of an elevator, wherever you can fit it in. Or if you work manufacturing plant like we do, maybe walk around the back of the plant maybe once every couple hours or so, just to get you a workout in if you can, for the people that sit at the desk, a lot. So other than that, healthy eating, try to go, instead of fries, maybe select apple slices. I know that's hard. But just stuff like that. Don't put so much sugar, fried foods. I mean, you know when you're eating horrible. So that's something easy. And then also high blood pressure. You want to pay attention to that as well. Your high blood pressure does lead to heart attacks, and you need to keep that level at all times. As I stated in the introduction, heart attacks occur every 20 seconds. So that's 3 times a minute. One of those 3 people die. So as you can tell, it's something that's that we can't joke around about. So it's important to educate ourselves and to do everything we can to prevent these things from happening. Like I said, even though we can't 100% prevent them, by doing these things, you can lower your risk of having one. So just wanted to thank y'all again for being my audience. If you can turn the camera around and show yourselves. Stop it.